The image of geopolitics has been shaken and tarnished by the terror tactics of one nation for more than 2 decades. Pakistan has been the face of terror for time and beyond. From jetting into the Twin Towers in 2001, commonly known as the Twin Tower attack, to the traumatic massacre of April 22, 2025, in India's Heaven on Earth, Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. Diving deep into the accounts of Pakistan's covert strategies, their destructive and orchestrated or supported terror activities, which left the world dumbstruck. This is Pakistan and their attacks that changed the world order. On September 11, 2001, 19 Al-Qaeda-linked terrorists led by Osama bin Laden hijacked 4 commercial flights in the United States. American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175 crashed into the North and South Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. This led to the collapse of the famous Twin Towers.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand.
Later, American Airlines Flight 77 struck the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. This was again continued by the crash of United Airlines Flight 93 in a field in Shanksville. The funding for the 9/11 attacks was reportedly provided by the then most wanted terrorist Osama bin Laden from Afghanistan, where Al-Qaeda operated under the Taliban's aid.
Are you ready, my butterflies? Yes. LLP position, eyes on me, 1, 2, 3. Get ready to read all the words on this page without making a mistake. Read this word the fast way. Get ready.
Park.
Yes, park. What do these 2 letters say?
R.
Yes, R. Sound it out. Get ready.
R.
What word?
Park.
Yes, park. What do these 2 letters say?
O.
Yes, pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153.
And I'm watching a child read. And then I see the press in the back of the room beginning to get the same message I just got. And I could see the horror etched on the face of the news people who had just gotten the same news. And so I waited for the appropriate moment to leave the classroom. I didn't want to do anything dramatic. I didn't want to, lurch out of the chair and scare the classroom full of children. And so I waited.
Try it again. Get ready for the beginning of that sentence. Get ready.
She played with her goat.
5 armed terrorists infiltrated the Indian Parliament House complex in New Delhi on December 13, 2001, in a white ambassador car. At the time of this attack, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha just adjourned with over 100 MPs, ministers, including Home Minister L.K. Advani, and officials seated inside the Parliament building. This led to a gun battle between the Delhi police, the Parliament Security Service, the CRPF personnel, and the terrorists. Quick action taken by late CRPF Constable Kamlesh Pulwama prevented the terrorists from barging into the Parliament House. The culprits were members of the Pakistan-based Deobandi jihadist group Jaish-e-Mohammed, founded by Maulana Masood Azhar. The parliament attack was carried out collaboratively between Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, another Pakistan-based group led by Hafiz Saeed.
इसीलिए इस कांड के बाद हमने पाकिस्तान से कहा है जो आतंकवादी संगठन इस दुस्साहस के कार्य में शामिल हैं, जिन्होंने इसका संगठन किया, योजना बनाई, उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि कार्रवाई होगी।
American journalist and South Asia bureau chief for the Wall Street Journal, Daniel Pearl, was kidnapped and brutally killed. Pearl was kidnapped while he was en route to an interview with cleric Sheikh Mubarak Ali Gilani in Karachi, Pakistan. The kidnappers, linked to Al-Qaeda and Jaish-e-Mohammed, accused him of being a CIA spy and demanded the release of Guantanamo detainees and U.S. arms shipments to Pakistan. After being held hostage for 9 days, Pearl was beheaded. His remains were found in May 2002 and returned to the U.S. for burial, with the release of a graphical video on February 21st. The video showed Pearl forced to state his Jewish heritage before the act. In the video, Pearl said, "My father is Jewish, my mother is Jewish, I am Jewish." The slaughter of the spy journalist, the Jew Daniel Pearl. The Al-Qaeda mastermind behind 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, confessed to this in 2007 during a Guantanamo tribunal. "I decapitated with my blessed right hand the head of the American Jew, Daniel Pearl."
Fortunately, what occurred was that over a 2-week period, Sheikh Omar, who has quite a history involved in the kidnapping, the hijacking of airplanes out of India, and affiliations with various hardcore jihadi organizations, had very carefully plotted and planned this kidnapping of Danny. He had set it up where he had given Danny information and promised this interview with Sheikh Gilani, which Sheikh Gilani, as it turned out, had no idea his name was even being used. But he would throw the bait out and he would reel it back in. So over a period of 2 weeks, Danny was enticed and then lost the opportunity for the interview. And this interview was something that Danny had been looking forward to. I mean, it was a very hot item. The Richard Reed shoe bomber incident was extremely hot news. So when it came time, after 2 weeks of baiting and switching, Danny was at the Metropole Hotel, standing outside the Village restaurant. His meeting was at 1900 hours, 7 p.m. At 1911, he received a phone call. The phone call lasted till 1916. So in that 5 minutes, the investigation later revealed that Sheikh Umar, who was using the name of Bashir at this time, told Danny that, "I'm sorry, he cannot come to see you again." And this was maybe the 6th or 7th time they had baited and switched Danny on the meeting. They said, "He just cannot get away, and we've tried and tried, and it just hasn't worked out. If you want the interview, he's at the madrasa. We'll pick you up and bring you here, and then we'll take you back, but he's not going to be able to come and see you there." And I guess at that moment, Danny had a tough decision to make. And he made the decision that he was going to go and do the interview. But you have to remember that Sheikh Umar was a professional at this. This is what he did for a living. He tricked people. He was a terrorist who prided himself on his ability over a particular period of time to bring somebody into a level of trust and confidence where he could carry out his act. And that appears to be the case.
A series of 7 coordinated bomb explosions struck Mumbai's lifeline, the railways. The attack was targeted at the first-class compartments on westbound local trains on the Western Line, one of the world's busiest commuter networks carrying millions daily. Main stations include Matunga Road, Mahim Junction, Bandra, Khar Road, Jogeshwari, Borivali, and Bhayandar. Suspects were said to be linked with the Indian Mujahideen based on confessions from arrested members of the group. Ten terrorists from the Pakistan-based Islamist group Lashkar-e-Taiba, LET, loaded with arms and ammunition, entered the heart of Bombay, Colaba, via the Arabian Sea and carried out massive attacks in the city, which haunts the world till date. Youngest terrorist out of the lot of 10, Ajmal Kasab, the sole survivor, confessed to Pakistani origins and LET involvement.
काम किया आज का काम करके बाद में क्या किधर जाने वाले थे तुम लोग?
मरने वाले थे हम लोग।
कैसे?
वो बोलता था कि जन्नत में जाओगे, तो मैंने कहा नहीं यार भागो, मैं ये नहीं बर्दाश्त करता, मैं नहीं, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता है।
हाँ।
मैंने कहा भागो यार, मैं नहीं रह सकता इधर।
नहीं ठीक है, लेकिन अभी ये जो कितना शूट किया तुमने?
पता नहीं।
कितने गोलियां उड़ाया?
पता नहीं, दो ढाई मैगजीने था।
हाँ। ढाई मैगजीन में कितने लोगों को मारा?
पता नहीं, बस ऐसे चलाते रहे, बस चलाते रहे।
किसको मारने के लिए बताया था?
हाँ?
किसको मारने के लिए बताया था?
लोगों को
यानी कि स्पेसिफिक ऐसा किसका नाम बताया था क्या?
नहीं।
इसको ही मारो, इधर जाओ, ऐसा करो?
नहीं।
अच्छा, कौन दिखाता था इधर जाने का बोल के?
हाँ?
अभी ये आज कितने बजे तक काम करने वाले थे?
आज?
हाँ।
नहीं, वो होता था जब तक जिंदा रहो मारते रहो।
ऐसा बोल रहा था?
हाँ, अभी इंसान है यार।
Locations targeted were main spots of the city, like the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus Station, CST Railway Station, Taj Mahal Palace and Tower Hotel, Oberoi Trident Hotel, Nariman House, Chabat House Road. In the early hours of September 18, 2016, a deadly terrorist assault shook the nation, as this time the terrorists targeted an Indian Army Brigade headquarters near the town of Uri in Baramulla district, Jammu and Kashmir, India, close to the line of control with Pakistan. All 4 attackers were killed. A 22-year-old local from Pulwama district named Adil Ahmed Dar, affiliated with Jaish-e-Mohammed, attacked a convoy of Indian security forces in Lethpora near Avantipora, Pulwama district, Jammu and Kashmir, India, on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway. A vehicle-borne improvised divisive explosive, or IED, rammed into a bus carrying Central Reserve Police Force personnel. Jaish-e-Mohammed even claimed the attack and released a pre-recorded video of Dar. India pays its tribute to each martyr who lost their lives during the attack on February 14th of every year. The attack in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir was a terrorist attack, to which India retaliated with Operation Sindoor, which began on May 7, 2025. The impact of these horrific attacks has been laid in the ground in the form of ashes of many who lost their lives during these attacks, and now their families relive these traumas of terror every day. The world has witnessed not just tragedy, but unyielding resilience. Pakistan's terror campaigns, mostly linked with groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, have strained international relations and left a fear of threat in the hearts of people globally. The big doubt remains: will Pakistan ever bring in the light of peace to its own nation and to the world, or will it always choose to profit from terror?